if you have hard time to decide in which hero you should invest in Call of Dragons, this video is going to help you at least to decide in the season 1 how the things will be. Now, if you watch my previous videos, I'm huge advocate for Velen, also for Thea. This is the two legendary heroes if you want to be a mage main that you have to focus at most. Now, so far Lilia is the best investment in Call of Dragons from point of mage playing, but not everybody want to spend something, you know. I think this is a personal decision, but so far after 2 years Lilia is the top mage, the top performer in Call of Dragons. So let's talk about our two heroes right now, and this is Velen and Thea. Now, obviously the third hero that I mentioned in my previous video is actually Waldir. Now, Waldir is absolutely treasure. Don't put him aside, and also if you can start with League of Order if you want to be a mage main, this is for sure. You have to just do that because you're going to get emblems for Waldir, and at the same time it's going to be way more easy for you. Now, what actually Velen and Thea is giving to us, obviously one of the heroes is a mage. This is Velen, is giving the control, obviously -6 star awakening is doing some extra damage, but there is a specific condition where he can actually do extra damage. On other side, Thea awakening is giving one more shield for 1000 damage reduction, which is a damage absorbing, which is absolutely crazy in Call of Dragons. Now, Thea is a beast, and it's not only applying for the mages, but if you're looking where to invest, this is going to be the order between these two heroes. Now, obviously Waldir, I'm not going to put him in this whole picture because it's an epic hero and you need epic shards for him, you need epic medals for him. On the other side, the tokens, the legendary tokens, have to be somehow separated or splitted between Velen or Thea, or everybody, all the tokens go for Thea. Now, first all the tokens go for one hero. Now, first thing, I'm going to say the good things about each of these heroes. Now, obviously Waldir is going to be paired with the Velen. This is a must-do combo. Waldir as a commander, skill talent tree, big bazooka. It's basically killing everything, and it's huge AoE. So if you want to go with this march, Waldir Velen, you definitely have to go for the Velen. This is something that you have to go. If you pair Waldir with Thea, you're still going to do damage, but Waldir with Velen is the combo. So if you're free-to-play player, this is the way to go. Go for the Velen and put aside Thea. So far, we're going to talk also about Thea. Now, on the other side, if you're a spender, if you want to spend something in Call of Dragons and you actually get Lilia is going to be your second march. Now, you can go Lilia Velen, which, you know, the investment is going to go purely in Velen, because Lilia, all the Lilia tokens can actually get bought from the VIP. For the people who don't know, I think the majority of the people actually know, but in VIP you have this chest here where it's going to store some Lilia tokens. So this is the most easy hero to be awakened in Call of Dragons. It's more easy from the host because host is needing a higher level of the VIP, which is achieving little more hard. So this is the most easy hero to be awakened. Now, if you have Lilia, the suggestion from my side is actually to go Lilia with Thea and actually invest in Thea. Now, obviously both of these two heroes, Thea and Velen, you can actually get him from the gold keys. Some people are going to say, but Burgas, why should we invest something that we can actually get from the gold keys? Well, after 2 years playing Call of Dragons, I'm going to surprise you a little. I don't have any Awakened Season 1 hero. And is that because I was AFK? I can say I was active through the seasons just because the chance to get the hero you're looking for is like 0.9, which is lying. This percentage is lying because it's per SWOT. So the moment you do, I'm going to go a little off. The moment you do the pooling, you're going to have like 4 slots. That means to actually get one hero from the gold keys is going to be like 4% to get a legendary hero. I want to point this thing because it was a huge confusion for me back in the days. I was not so sure what I should go for or whatever, what is the percentage, how fast I'm going to awake. And even with this thing that is a 4%, it's still after so much time I don't have any season 1 hero awakened. Obviously I have 6-star Thea awakened and I have 6-star Velen awakened, but this is just because I actually invest in these heroes, even though that they are from the gold keys. So if you have Lilia, definitely you can make, by the way, for the Thea Lilia, I'm going to share something with you. If you have Thea, you can easily get her like 5 something here, 5. This is going to be the perfect leveling for Thea. Obviously it's going to be perfect to be 515, but at the end of the day I don't think somebody have that big luck. Maybe somebody is going to have it. Okay, I remember when I make one video about my Bakshi, that was like 5154. I think even have my Bakshi here. Yeah, it was like 5154, and people was like, how do you skip the peacekeeping damage? Well, I just get lucky. There's no hiding stuff there. And the next 2 spells actually boost this spell, which is Sense of Weakness. But anyway, Thea is going to be perfect for you 515. If you can 535, completely fine. But first level up your main spell, which is the Rage skill. So why maybe I'm not going to go that much in deep why you actually have to level these specific skills. I think I actually have videos on my channel, so you can go and check it out. There on my channel there is so many guides, tips, tricks, so don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed. Also join the Discord. This is the Burgas Cave, the place where we exchange ideas, the place where we ask questions. Even as I ask a question from time to time, because you know, I cannot know everything in Call of Dragons. But anyway, from point to Velen is going to be just enough to be 5111. Why is that? There is no specific spell for the Velen that you should put aside. Now this one, maybe this one you can actually level up the Wasp. This in the battle, 20% chance to inflict magic break and Hair Frost for 3 seconds. This is something that is going to serve you well when the Velen is awakened, because this Hair Frost is going to help you to trigger this 400 damage, you know. So in situation like this, maybe I can say open the first 3 spells is completely enough for the Velen. Go with the first one to be 5, and after this go with the rest of the spells. This hero is absolutely crazy. Hero skill critical rate bonus. None of the heroes existing in Call of Dragons, I mean mages, is providing critical rate, hero skill critical rate bonus. That's why a lot of people want to combine Velen with Lilia. And the moment you combine Velen with Lilia, Lilia is having this talent here, whereas once you normal attack, your Legion has 10% chance to get hero skill focus, increasing the hero skill critical rate by 10% for 5 seconds. So you end up like, if you hit 1 time per second, that means 50% from the time, because it's for 5 seconds, you're going to have 20% critical rate. That means every 5 skill cast, 1 is going to be a critical rate. Obviously this is RNG. You can get with the first skill trigger, you know, with the first skill trigger, get a critical rate. Boy, I have seen some scary Lilia critical hits. But yeah, anyway, going back to the Lilia Velen, Lilia, Thea, Water, Velen. So far between the Thea and Velen, I strongly suggest go with Velen. Go with Velen, even if you have Lilia, because at the season 1, especially if you're season 1, in season 1 you're not going to have that much troops, exception if you're well. Now if you're WoW spender and you want to make Lilia like 5111, that's completely fine. It's going to serve you well with Velen. But yeah, the value of the Velen is absolutely crazy in the first seasons compared to the Thea that starts shining as a support hero in your next and next legions, because even if you don't have the Lilia, your main legion is going to be Wodir with Velen. Thea is going to be put at the side, so you don't invest in Thea. If it's like Lilia, Thea, Wodir, Velen, you can actually go and actually level up Thea, just, you know, open the first first three. I think it's completely enough. Obviously get the shell to maximum. Always do that. I don't think there's a single person in this game that just open all the spells and don't level 5 the rage skill, but yeah, always do that. Just to mention that. You're going to thank me later. I make this mistake when I start playing Call of Dragons, but the knowledge base back in the days was not that much, so in situation like this I'm like ooh, but later we're learning, and right now there is so much knowledge outside that you can actually get. So yeah, who should you invest is clearly going to be from my side for the Velen. But here is the things, here's what some other people are saying. Picking the wrong hero picking a wrong hero early can ruin your entire season. I don't think is that bad, but definitely is going to have influence. This thing is going to have influence over your performance. Of course, it's going to be a goal to fit your teams. I already speak with Lilia Thea, Wodir Velen, or Lilia Velen. Still, in this old team setup, you have just one with Thea. This is Lilia Thea. Either it's going to be Wodir Velen or it's going to be Lilia Velen. So yeah, and yeah, I think this will be for this video. This is the most valuable heroes for the mages, Velen and Thea, and still you have to pick one of them to start with. And I think the answer is Mr. Velen. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you hit one like, subscribe to this channel. I wish you a great day and see you in the next video.